Hey everybody, today I'm going to be talking about productivity hacks. Today I'm going to be showing you how I manage all of the work that I have to do for my Amazon business. In an Amazon business, you have a lot of things that you have to do. You have to source, you have to do IP complaints, account health, that sort of thing. Um, you have to communicate with your prep center. There's a ton of different things that you have to do. And at the start, you're just one person. So it can be really tough to keep track of everything if you don't stay organized. So I will show you how I go about that and the tools that I use. Okay. First, I'll talk about where I learned about this. So I come from a software background. Um, Similar to Amazon, there's a lot of little things that go into developing software. And so making sure that you stay organized is very, very important. Okay. And so, when I started in that space, I learned about what's referred to as a Kanban board. And you're looking at one that I've created for this example. And so basically what we're relying on is we're relying on visualizing our work. And I'll go a little bit more into it in a Kanban specific page, and I'll share at a high level the core concepts of Kanban and the Kanban board. Okay. All right. So we are on a page, I'll put this in the description, that goes over Kanban. So it kind of highlights what a Kanban board is and what it's reliant on. Okay. So basically, you're going to have columns that represent status of work. So it could be as simple as to do, doing, done. Okay. Um, and so we're relying then on creating visual signals, which would be like a concept or a piece of work that you have to complete. So an example of that would be I have to source, or I have an IP complaint that I have to take care of. So those would be examples of like pieces of work that you have to complete. Okay, so you'd create one like story or task for each one of those, and then as you do them, you'd move them across this board. So I'll give examples of that later. We talked about columns. So these represent the statuses, to do, in progress, complete. So you're tracking how everything's going. Work in progress limits. These are really important. So it's easy to want to do a lot of things at once. It's not very effective. Okay. And so if we have a limit on work in progress, if you have an agreement with yourself that you are only going to do two things at once, or you're going to do one thing at once, you will likely get more things done. Um, People say that they can multitask. That's not something that I think there's a lot of science behind. Um, for me, at least, I can focus on one thing at a time. So I pick something up, I complete it, I move on to the next thing. I try to do it to the best of my ability, and then I move on. Commitment point and delivery point, these are more software based concepts that we don't really have to um, touch on here. You can just think of the delivery point in this example as the task being done. All right, now that we are back on our Kanban board, I will explain kind of how I would use this to create this video, okay? Um, so if we look at all the columns that we have done, doing, and to do, okay? So done, I have already written the video script. That is complete, okay? Um, and then doing, currently I am filming the video. When I'm done filming, I will move it over to done, and then I will begin to edit the video. Then I have to post it to YouTube, and then I have to tweet out a YouTube link. So it's pretty straightforward. Um, and really, the only time that you would apply a WIP limit would be to something that is like actively being worked on. Your queue can be as long as you want here, and then your list of completed tasks can be as long as you need it to be. Really, we're focusing on where the effort is taking place. So in the doing column, you probably can only handle so many things at once. And so you should think about what is an appropriate number of tasks that I can do at one time that will allow me to complete them in a timely manner. Okay. So for me, I usually just stick to one. If I'm focused on one thing, getting it done, moving on with my life, I can pick up the next thing, get it done quickly, and keep moving. One thing I will mention though is these little timers that are on Amazon. I'll put a link in here. They're super helpful. So a lot of people do not work well unless they have a deadline. Um, this helps me create artificial deadlines throughout the day. I usually just put them in like 10-minute increments, or I kind of size up the task and get an idea of like how long I think it'll take. And then by having that timer counting down, it helps me just really stay focused and try and get as much of the work done in as short as possible while still thinking about doing quality work. So to recap, we talked about how I visualize my work. I use a Kanban board, and then I have different columns that represent the different statuses of work. Um, and I will attach all of the information in the description. I then use these timers to make sure that I am moving as quickly as possible while still doing a good job. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate if you would like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.